Check 1, 2, 3. Yo, what's up? This is Jeff Logan here, Becoming a Beast podcast. Here with my guy, Yianni Crease from Crease Group, the owner, CEO of Crease Group, mastermind. What is your title, bro?
Yeah, CEO of Crease Group, yeah.
You got a lot of titles. So look, we're in sunny Los Angeles, California right now. Have an official podcast set up. How about that for you guys, right? I'm not just in my car ranting with a cell phone. There's mics and there's ear gear and everything else that goes along with it. There's multiple cameras going here. Today we're going to talk about No Beast Mode. We're going to talk about the mindset behind it and also the brand. Just launched pre-sales. By the time you hear this, you'll be able to order, secure your items, or order with shipping, depending on how fast it moves. But yeah, we're going to give you like the mindset of it. So basically I'm out here in LA filming right now and it's going well. It's going well. 4th season of a TV show. And I mean, filming is back to back. Luckily we don't work on weekends on the filming, but obviously I'm still working on weekends. Like today's Saturday, it was bright and early. Not that much sleep yesterday. Got off set at like 12 or 1 a.m. Wake right up, head over to breakfast, meet this guy, and then boom. We're here talking about NBM, so everything is working. A billboard just went up, which was really cool. NBM's first billboard that went up, and that was legendary. Nice, huge, the biggest size billboard I can find. Got some coverage on that. It's amazing. Thanks for the support and the long-time support for the people who've been there with NBM from the beginning. Also, the people who really don't know what it is, and this podcast is going to tell you, going to bless you with that mindset that you're going to integrate into your own life, into your personality. So let me give you an intro. Yianni Crease. Tell them what you do. Tell them what Crease Group is. What is Crease Group?
Right. So, in a nutshell, I would say that Crease Group is one of the globe's leading design and manufacture firms for everything apparel and accessories. We look to partner with large corporations, brands, designers, artists, influencers, and build lasting, memorable brands. So that's what we are. I would say it's a modern fashion house. It's the evolution of apparel design and manufacture.
Nice. And when we first linked up, you called it the reincarnation of NBM. It wasn't like, this isn't merch. This isn't, grab a t-shirt shell from, brand X, Y, or Z, print your label on it, logo on it, then flip the shirts for double what you paid for the $6 t-shirt, and then it falls apart one time in the wash. Just like you said, it's a reincarnation of your brand, of the idea of your brand. And well, Yianni told me, he was like, hey man, when I look at everything, when I look at the Logan Performance app, when I look at your show, when I look at becomenutrition.com, he said everything represents you and it's an extension of you. It's like these are almost your business-wise children, so to speak. So they're an extension of you. He's like, NBM doesn't really represent you. It's not clean. It's not, again, it just doesn't represent who you are and what you stand for. So he tweaked that, him and his team, and it's just like now everything is just pristine. And it's a step above the rest because I'm a firm believer in you go to the professionals for the professional work.
Precisely.
And it's just like this. You want a good podcast, good sound, we got professional cameras. We have
you pay for it,
equipment.
Yeah, you do. So the story is actually it's amazing. So I was in Nashville doing some business, and I'd seen Jeff walking around the bar we were in. He was staying. I think you were staying at the same hotel.
Yeah, I got a room. I was shooting a Be Cleaner commercial. So the Be Cleaner commercial you saw, I was shooting it that day.
Precisely. So you're busy shooting that, and I see you walking around the bar. I think it's you because you obviously have, that online friendship relationship with Francois, is one of my friends, and I see you walking around, and I kind of recognized your appearance, and I said to Giselle, my fiance, I said, oh, "That's Jeff. We got to go speak to him." And she says, "Look, I got this. I'm going to the restroom, so I'm gonna bring Jeff back." So so you guys come back to the table, and I say, "Jeff, man, listen. With all due respect, your brands are beautiful. You're doing amazing things, and this NBM brand has unparalleled potential if we do it right." And I think at that moment we clicked because your mindset, or the mindset that's embedded in NBM, is one of openness and one of growth. And you're like, okay, cool, man. So you say that, let's do it.
Right. And see, there was a disconnect because how the fuck are more people gonna get the tattoo of the brand of the
That's
of
amazing.
the idea
Yeah.
versus the clothing, because the quality and the time and the effort was not a true representation of what I wanted it to be.
Precisely.
And it's like when you verbalize that, like, hey, bro, this doesn't represent you properly. Like, I see who you are, I see what you stand for. Like, you need to have everything that you do needs to stand for that. And also, that is no beast mode. Pretty much being a beast in everything you do. So what does MBM mean? MBM, so basically beast mode is, people think they hear the word no and it's a negative thing. Like, you know this, know that. Like, if you go into a place, no smoking, we can't smoke cigars in here, but it's all good. We're going to get them later. So, when someone says no, it's like, oh, it's a bad thing. But no beast mode is actually a celebration of beast mode. Beast mode is the animalistic state that you enter into when accomplishing something. No beast mode is just staying in that 24/7. That's me being a beast father, a beast actor, a beast businessman, a beast friend, a beast son, a beast brother, a beast everything that I can be in every area of my life. You don't have to be famous or a celebrity or an influencer, or you don't have to have any of these titles to be in no beast mode, to exercise this idea. And we were in the car today driving over here, and I was like, you know what, MBM can be classified as a religion. My mother hated that I said that, but it's true. It's a set of rules created by somebody, and it's what I follow. It's what I live by. It's what helps me out. And even the reincarnation of this brand is a true representation of the term no beast mode, because it's like, okay, all your companies are great in all these areas. What about this? The actual idea of, what it is. So when this caught up, finally, like we moved quick, man. This is what?
We're talking about December, live to market in just over, I would say, about 7 months.
7 months.
To add to your point, I think that pretty much the most important message that I would share with regards to NBM and this next move is, like, we deal with companies from national banks to Fortune 500 companies, S&P 500 companies, and people who are involved in startups, guys like Jeff, etc. There's a big difference between an intrapreneur and an entrepreneur, right? Now, a lot of young people out there, and they want to make a move, but they never truly embrace the move or the journey. So when we look at NBM and we go back in time, we see Jeff going down this journey, but constantly investing in himself. So he says, I believe in NBM, I'm investing in NBM, right? So that's what we call an entrepreneur. Someone who says, look, it's going to cost me this much, and we both know how much this cost you, right? To the average person who, self-funds their own project, their own vision, it's a lot.
It's difficult. I mean, anybody can. How many people can go play with someone else's money?
Precisely.
Like, hey,
everyone can.
Here's 100 G's. Go start something. Like, that's not the realm that I live in. That's not the realm he lives in.
Precisely.
So when you put up your own money, your own time, your own blood, sweat, and tears, your own effort, because MBM, like, we're talking about, like, this reincarnation took over 7 months, but we're talking about a brand that's evolved from, my first thing was a no beast mode, just be a beast wristband, a motivational, quote unquote, wristband. And that was what, 2013, 2012, and now it's finally the thread counts are here, the stitching, everything, panel by panel, handmade items, that are completely functional to everyday life, to training, to athleisure, to lounging. Like, I've lived in this. When I tell you, I've walked to set every day wearing my own brand, and it feels amazing. And also, like, no offense to the wardrobe department, shout out to the wardrobe department for my production, but, like, I can't wait to get back in my clothes.
100%. So that is what NBM is. That's what it means, right? So it means invest in yourself, be a beast in everything you do, just like you are. So you're the role model at this point, right? You're paying it forward, and you are a true entrepreneur. And this is what the message of NBM is. It's like, if you believe in something, be it, but be it wholeheartedly. Don't be it 50% and maybe this and maybe that. So that's why I said too many times, I respect that. That's number one thing I respect. So
appreciate that.
Yeah, that is to me. So from my viewpoint,
but I mean,
that's NBM.
It's both, because okay, the samples are designed cool, down to the T. There's no question, and this is why you hire the professionals to do the professional work. Like, there's no question on, let's move the logo up. Let's move this here. Let's move that here. Oh, the sizing's off. Oh, this is too loud. This is too aggressive. So basically, when I was presented from Crease Group with like, hey, this is how like we are interpreting your brand based on you, based on what you stand for, your podcast, everything else. And I saw it and I'm like, wow, I couldn't have put this into the universe better. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I'm not a professional in this realm. I have the idea, the professional, the mindset, everything in that respect is professional. But as far as like translating it over into apparel, that's the expertise. That's where he is literally like, you know, a GOAT, greatest of all times of. And that's why I'm so elated to drop this, so happy with it. And, you know, I mean, the pre-sales went crazy.
Actually, at this time, you like if you get it.
Yeah.
Season 1, you like if you get it. And that's the beautiful thing is like right now, the audience that's picked it up is continuing on this journey, continuing with the reincarnation. You might be able to get it later, but that's a different story, right? The price moves, right? The value moves, right? So
yesterday's price is not today's price.
Precisely. So, yeah, very, very exciting. As far as the attention to detail, quality, fabrication, nothing spared. So
No.
the true cost is number one in the fabrication, in the decoration, in the fit, in the attention to detail. But secondly, it's in Jeff's life, right? In your experiences, in your emotion, and everything else. That it's an accumulation of oneself.
But I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, constant progression towards a worthy idea. That is success. Constant progression towards a worthy idea, whatever that worthy idea is. That is MBM. That is being in beast mode 24/7. And the details are what separate, because again, you can't go to a car dealership and say, like, okay, we drove here in an SL series Mercedes, brand new. And I mean, the technology in that thing is amazing. You can't go in there and say, hey, I don't want to pay $170K for this. Why? Oh, because it's just a car with wheels. I can go get a Honda for that much. And what they're going to say is, hey, there's different details. So basically, even me before I was 100 pounds heavier. I had a weaker mindset. I didn't have standards. I didn't have boundaries for myself, right? So how could I be mad at when I wasn't getting hired for what I'm doing now? Like, I can't look at my old self and say, well, they didn't hire me for a production then. I didn't lead a production then. I wasn't lead a man in a TV show or a film then. It's like, because I detailed myself. When you go get your car clean, you take it through that 5-minute wash. It might be clean. It's kind of clean.
But it's a
right,
5-minute wash.
but it's not detailed. You know what I mean? And this is what it is. This is MBM refined and detailed, because I would be doing myself a disservice to all the people who got the ink in their skin, a permanent ink in their skin. And this dude, he doesn't have any tattoos, right? I got enough tattoos for everybody, right? And he goes, he rattled something off and was like, yeah, if MBM passes 10 million in sales, I'll get an MBM tattoo. And I'm like, you don't know who you're talking to, because I will go do that. I will make this the biggest brand just to see you get a tattoo, and I get to pick where it's at. And can I do it?
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'm gonna do it on him. I've done like 5 tattoos on people in my life.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not a tattoo artist.
Another kind of artist for sure. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's you know, I think the journey has been insane. I think that for the average person to get to this point, so for NBM to be able to launch an incredible brand in 7 months, it's not a 7 months thing. Like, please, you know, understand that it's a 7 months thing when you're collaborating on a very high level, and that's exactly
but also
what happened.
collaborating on a high level. But I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you have failed,
Yeah.
because I call it like it is. Everyone says, you know, when I get on Instagram Live, they always ask like, hey, what is the best way to success in X, Y, and Z? And I always say, fail fast. Yeah.
Lose.
Fail as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Because you put out a shirt. I mean, I remember the first time I put out shirts, it said, no beast mode, just be a beast. Like a full sentence. Like, what does that say? Huge letters. I was huge. Everything in my life was just big at the time. You know what I mean? And and my problems were big too. I had a bunch of big things in my life. And now everything is refined and smooth and peaceful and just like streamlined. So it's like those did okay. Then the next round, then I took a break. Then the next round did okay. And it's like going back and forth, because people buy quality, bro. You know why? Because there was a very, very small detail, okay? So I'll walk you through this. These are the actual like production samples.
Correct.
Because the pre-production samples, there was in the neck, in the ribbing of the neck, and please go ahead and correct me if I'm saying any of this shit wrong.
Yeah.
This is 3 centimeters, and the original was what is it, 1.7 or
2 centimeters? Yeah.
2 centimeters.
Yeah.
And there was a sweet spot, and mind you, we're talking about the size of the neck of this shirt. Most people don't even look at the neck of their fucking shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus this, and there's a sweet spot at 2.7 centimeters that was agreed upon. Also the taping where it says MBM in there. Also the tag. Everything was like spoken about, went over, glazed over, glossed.
Considered.
Yeah,
Considered. You know?
everything.
That's the true word. It's considered. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, I mean,
and just getting videos from the warehouse, like hats getting constructed piece by piece, not like you take the shell of that brand's hat, print your logo on it, and you do that. Like, it's a bunch of regurgitation.
all comes down to the equity, right?
Yeah, man.
All comes down to owning the equity in your brand, the IP, right? So when you create an original design, so when you create an original logo, original design, and everything about it is original, you have equity in your business that is irreplaceable, right? So as you scale and as you get to the next level, this is part of your makeup and what allows you to get there.
I mean, even down to the font, the color
Correct.
names,
Correct.
even down to which was huge for me was and I'm going to say this carefully, the evolution of the logo.
Correct.
Because the logo was an X, right? It was an X. And if you pay attention, okay, the X came out, I would say about 2012, 2013, and you saw that X replicated on a lot of brands, okay? There's no need to say any names or anything like that. But we basically took the X and you turn it, right? And you get the North Star. So the North Star was the name of a paper that was by Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass ended up residing in Rochester. We just named the airport, the Rock Airport. Shout out to 585 Rochester, New York. That's where I'm from. That's where I was born and raised. Frederick Douglass Airport. And he had a paper called the North Star. And he was amongst one of the first, free African Americans to, go and establish himself and establish, everything. And to have that name of the North Star. Also, in a cosmic sense, the North Star is the guiding star. It's the star you can see during the day, star you can see at night, and it's always in the same spot. You know what I mean? And in essence, it's like you have to be guided by a cosmic power, something higher, something greater within you. You have to be guided by that, and we all are guided by that. When all the outside noise is quieted, your intuition will speak the loudest. Your energy will speak before your words speak. You will speak internally before you speak externally, And a lot of things that we say and do are based on conditioning. And again, MBM is a reconditioning of your mind. So imagine your life in beast mode. Imagine your life in all capital letters. Imagine your life, like I said, in beast mode 24/7. What would it look like? What would it look like 5 years from now? And then you go to ask yourself a question. You go take inventory. Has my life been in beast mode 24/7? And most time,
definitely not.
you know what I mean?
And the most beautiful thing is, you start off with the 5-year goal, but like people always say to me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I can't answer that, because when you're actually doing it, you're smashing the goals in a month, 2 months, 3 months. So life becomes this evolution, right? And you're just on the journey enjoying it. So, I mean, yeah, it's a lot to digest, but first point is get started. I mean, if we have to take your life and use it as a lens for NBM. Dog, I'm proud of you, and I don't even say it that much. Because I'm like, listen, that people look up to you, you've done a lot, etc. I'm proud of you. Like, when we're walking up the stairs to this podcast studio, I'm like, Jeff's got his duffel bag. We've got the samples. We're doing this thing. We're trying to share it with the world. Yeah. Inspire, empower. It's very aspirational. And at the same time, it's like, you're still doing this thing, bro. Like, you don't have to be here right now.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I could be getting a massage
Precisely
by a beautiful woman, because I just acted all week, every day, no days off.
100%.
And also, there was a few, even that, and I appreciate you saying that, bro.
Yeah.
And there was a few conflicts with filming. We hit up a couple videographers, like, hey, let's do this podcast. And it's like, there is an iPhone, a camera, and another camera, just set up by me, hit the record buttons, like, not overcomplicating things. You know what I mean? Because the message here is much more, strong than, we don't need a video for the strength of this, you know, and the video's not going to carry it. It's more about the message. And like I said, a lot of people are asking, hey, what's MBM? Because I have a lot of new people who didn't know, and the brand was like, I'll say in hibernation. Just
But also to that point, the reach is insane. So when we look at like the numbers on pre-sale, firstly, incredible.
Yeah.
But then the next point is like where it's from. Like when you see stuff like Iceland, Belgium, New Zealand, you're like, wow, you know, you take a step back and you're like, amazing. And I think that, you know, in kind of like the same breath, the message, you know, with like, let's say people looking at this and trying to replicate it and work on it is like, just get started, bro.
Yeah.
Like when, again, go back to the point of we don't have to do this, we still did it. Like the point is, so many young people thinking too much, bro. Just get it. Like we constantly get it. We on the ball.
But let's just go back even further. He has a layover here. Flew in from where his house is. Says, hey, I'm in LA for some hours. I said, cool, let's do a podcast. Cool, let's handle it. And he's flying out to Greece like very, very soon. So the turnaround time is quick. And even me, it's like, you can't do what you're supposed to do, because when you realize there's no rules to anything, and you realize even the rules that are set, there's laws, but there's not rules. Even the rules that are set by people who are no smarter than you, who just have failed at things. And also, when you fail faster, this is the ladder approach. Like when you climb a ladder, it's a very consistent thing, you know, step after step after step after step. There's not just one big gap and then another big gap. That's what I talked about on the last podcast, Lotto Lifestyle. Why would you live your life if you want, I don't know, because everybody has this, million's everybody's mark. When did you make your first million, right? So if you have this goal of making $1 million, why would you go to the store and say, oh, I'm gonna make this $1 million and scratch off lotto tickets? So you can't live your life like that, you know? And MBM, it wasn't in a sense of like, because also when people ask me and they're money-based, I don't want to talk to you. When it goes impact-based, when I see people in person, they tell me they've infected their family in a positive way because I infected them in a positive way. Say, hey, man, I lost weight because of you, and then my whole family, da-da-da. It's that domino effect and also that butterfly effect. And how many people are you affecting? How are you changing this world? Or you just want $1 million just because?
Yeah, and what's the plan of action, right?
Yeah,
Because,
once you get it, what happens now?
Yeah, because life doesn't happen like that.
And it doesn't stop.
I mean,
just stop.
when we talk about people that bringing onto the team and who's working on the brand and etc., I mean, the biggest thing is who has the culture that we have. Growing up, like I say this to like most people, is like, if you want to be good at something, start with mastering your craft. Start with being the best in it. So like in my case, I have climbed maybe 10 flights of stairs 20 times a day with rolls of fabric on my back. I know every single, well, let me not say every, because the truth is you're always learning, but so much about my business. Next point, right, is work on it, work on the sales, the marketing, etc. So like with young people, bro, you and I would fly around the world for free, G.
Yeah.
Fly around the world for free just to be in the room. Money is the byproduct of your life, G.
Because you can't buy the experience.
You can't buy the experience.
Because I mean, look where we met. It was a nice hotel.
Right.
What if we just booked the shit hotel?
Yeah, no, there's no meeting.
No.
Yeah.
There's no meeting.
There's no meeting. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, we're extremely proud. I think I can speak for both of us. For the product, I think it's insane.
And just also, again, so when we streamline the process, it's like you've been in different countries testing fabric. So you already know. I'm like, I don't. So why is the tank's fabric count, or excuse me, thread count is lighter than the tee's thread count? Why is that? And you're just like, boom, boom, boom. This is why we can lighten up the tee, but this is why the tank's light. The tank is more of an active thing. There's spandex in there. You know what I mean? Like
it's the drape. It's like, you know, when you hang the garment, how does it fall on the body? So look, you can see how the tank falls on Jeff's body, how the hoodie sits on me.
Right.
You know.
And
there's so many elements.
When I tell you I've lived in this tee, I wish we would have called this the everyday tee. I live in this
Well, we still can. That's the beauty. That's fashion, right?
Right.
It's whatever you want.
Change the name.
Make what you want, right?
And it's like, there is no, when you don't make a comparison to another brand, there's no comparison. How can it be a comparison? That's like comparing yourself to another human.
Yeah, you're comparing your life.
You can't replicate another person. So when you really take the time to nurture this child of yours, this business child of yours, and you let it germinate, that's the thing. And that's why it's pre-sales. It's like a baby. It's a 9-month process.
Precisely.
Literally, it's a baby. It's a 9-month process.
It's a baby, yeah.
Which I'm a pro at. 3 children down. You know, I could teach you how to make boys. So
I got the recipe. Thanks, brother.
I got you.
Yeah.
But it's like that's what happens, and these are the pre-sales, the premature sales. You know, so it's like this is what it took, but it took all that failure beforehand to get to this point to say, oh, he's only been working on that brand for 7 months. No, I've been working on this brand since 2013.
The sooner you fail, the sooner you learn. I think that
2013, next year will be 10 years. But they didn't see that. So by the time if someone just sees me or not even me, the brand is way bigger than I'll ever be. And that's what I do, create things that are way larger than myself, create ideas that are larger than myself. Because an idea of being in beast mode 24/7 in every aspect of your life, male, female, trans, I don't care what you are, you can be a beast in your life in every area. Like speaking,
it's possible.
Everything.
And the truth is about balance is people always talk about work-life balance. I want work-life balance. The truth is, to do anything great, there will be times of absolutely zero balance. You might find some balance, but if you want to do something amazing, forget about balance. Just it's all systems go every day, all day. The 2 ideals I think that we share that are the most important. The first is that quality is our culture, right? So every product, everything is considered. It's meant for the consumer to enjoy, right? And to live the experience.
and to last.
Precisely. And the next point is longevity, right? So longevity, 1, for the product, and 2, just for the brand, man. Like these conversations are so early that they're going to be part of the highlight reel.
Yeah.
You know, that docu series, right? Yeah. So
Because that's the beautiful thing about this. This is not like solely meant like, oh, where are the sales? Where are the sales? It's like customer experience, customer journey. How did you feel when, I'm not going to tell them how it's going to come to them.
Yeah,
But when you
let's not
see
do
it,
that.
when you get it, how was it presented to you? How did you feel when you got it? How did you feel when you first put it on? And then when you washed it and wore it again, you know what I mean? Or like, oh, I'm going to save this for this event, or I'm going to save this for when I'm doing this in the gym, or doing that, or doing this.
there's no saving, G. Live in it. You know what I mean? And the next point is, so we spoke about those 2 ideals. I think the next one is, you know, the brand should stand for the following. You spend $50, it feels like 100, right? And I think that is what I've always looked to do in my life. Anytime I've worked with someone or whatever, I'm looking at how can I
Over deliver.
you know, over deliver, like all the time, over deliver. And money is the afterthought. The truth is, yes, you might spend, yes, you have to do this thing. But at the end of the day, when you really are the leader in your industry, whatever industry that might be, the money's thrown at you. Like your life is, the cash is the byproduct of your life.
And no one asked you like, hey, how much did you spend before that? Like, no one knows. And we'll go ahead and go into the back end of it. So by the time you got this, I didn't make any money. I'm already in the red. I've already spent $100,000, you know, of my own money, like my own, not credit, like not credit. I'm talking about cash. I'm talking about like even the production samples. Like some people don't even get samples. They just see something rendered and they're like, yeah, print that, make that and send it to them. Or like, you know, hey,
print that in a random print shop.
Yeah.
Logo's obscure, washes off. It's a hard plastisol.
But
print,
the energy goes into it, and
Right.
you can tell because there's companies, because I model as well. I do fashion model and I do fitness modeling. There's companies like one dude is real transparent with me. He said, hey man, I was gonna have you model for this brand, but like we didn't contact you because we saw MBM. We saw how serious it looked, and I'm like, don't be scared, don't be scared, you know. And it's like, it speaks. It lets you know we're not playing. So before there was next day shipping available, this brand is on a billboard.
And the truth is, so that is just back testament to the paid forward method, right? That you've instilled. The next thing is, you know, like right now it's pre-sale, but when it becomes a next day dispatch, there's a very short period before it changes from US only to Europe, Australia next day, or say Oceania, right? The distribution is almost set up for that because that is its next step. It's happening. You know, we've manifested it. It's done.
Yeah. And I mean, you're positive energy, and you're hardworking. Same thing with mine. It's like, this is what happens. This is not an accident. Nothing. And I was speaking to somebody, I was in Cabo, and we were talking about how your life is your fault. 100%, good or bad. And you can't say, you can't think of fault as a necessarily negative thing. Like, the reason why you're listening to this podcast right now, the reason why you have MBM on your back, the reason why you take Become, the reason why you do anything in your life is your fault, right? You are at fault for the results of your life. So again, none of this is surprising. Oh my God, a billboard? No, that was planned and paid for in cash out of my pocket. You know what I mean? And then you hire the videographers, and that day was a whole entire clusterfuck. Because this is what the podcast is for, is raw and uncut. Like, you might see Instagram. Instagram is a fucking highlight reel, bro.
We came here and we sat down and I'm like, how do you want to do this? And you're like, dog, just relax. I got you.
We got it.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the billboard day, let's say the billboard day. So what do you see? What do you see on Instagram? You see this big billboard with the drone shot and like, oh my God, billboard. Listen, first of all, fucking billboard is expensive. Second of all, my video guy, so my billboard guy, got all these guys, right? I can't do the fucking billboard. This is why you hire the professionals to do the professional work. I'm literally driving to set. Just did cardio at 5 a.m. Driving to set at 6. Haven't eaten because I'm going to be fucking late. So I'm driving to set. And the billboard guy was supposed to have that thing up 9 a.m. in the time zone that the billboard was in. And my video guy calls me. He says, hey, bro, ain't no billboard up here. I said, oh, my God. So you call billboard guy, wake his ass up. Yo, bro, the billboard ain't up. He goes, hey, I got to call another guy. So now you're up here juggling. This we talked about no balance. As I'm speeding down the road at 6 a.m. after doing cardio to go to set.
And
to
you know you already paid for that.
Yeah, you already paid for it.
You already paid for that.
So you're like, putting out, you become this fireman. Like, people ask me what I do. I want to say I'm a fireman because all I do is put out fires every fucking day. So it's like, you putting out that fire, and then finally, when it all clicks, and you just get that breath of, because that's when you're gonna recover in between. It's just like, it's like working out. When you're working out, you recover in between the sets. But I'm always doing reps. That's why everything's getting that much stronger. So it was putting out the fire. Hey, billboard has to go up. Hey, billboard has to get videoed. Hey, has to get edited. Hey, use this song, use that song. As I'm learning my lines, and you execute everything, and then you go to bed at night feeling fulfilled, because that is being in no beast mode. You can't just be like. And also I said, I said this on an interview about not getting lost. It was, the lady asked me, how do I juggle it all? How do you juggle, single father, all these jobs and everything like that? And it's like, well, each moment I'm in it, right? I'm in each moment. I'm there each moment. Like, and I go in different modes. When it's dad mode, it's dad mode. When it's time for on our calls, it's only about MBM. Granted, there's personal stuff because we develop a personal relationship, but it started out as business. And that's the best way to go versus like getting your friends to do stuff first. Some people can do that, but we develop a business relationship, and then the friendship was a byproduct of that.
You see, when you kind of distill everything you're saying, one of the biggest pieces is you're able to be uncomfortable, right? And you thrive in that moment. So like, a lot of people at the moment are scared to be uncomfortable because there's pain or whatever. On the way here, we had an uncomfortable conversation. Now, granted, our EQ is high. We've been in this situation so many times that it's like, whatever's the best thing to do for the business.
Right.
Whatever's the best thing to do for your business, Jeff, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Right. And
it was funny. We actually.
This is born out of uncomfortability, right? That's why it succeeds, man. Right?
Comfortable being uncomfortable.
100%.
And we were at dinner with a couple people, and we got complimented. Like it was such like normal saying, like that should have been an argument or a questioning or a debate. And I was like, hey bro, boom. And you're like, oh cool, boom. And it's just like, and the person we're sitting with was like, whoa, that was like really
shocking.
Smooth.
No, shocking. Yeah, shocking.
But that's how bosses move.
Yeah, shocking, right?
Like, and even this, like, what time did you fly in?
6 a.m. Yeah.
So what time did you wake up?
It was 3:30. I didn't really sleep much, but yeah.
So then
I'm used to that, right?
But there's no complaining. There's no like.
No.
There's no, and then that's when people become actors and actresses, and they go, oh, then they want to verbalize it. I didn't sleep. Like I was at the hotel. Shout out to Cambria Hotel Calabasas. Y'all treated me really well. I love it out there. But that fire alarm.
Yeah, the testing
Bro,
all the time.
4 a.m. I went to bed at 1. I did a back day. I came back in. Went to bed at 1, 4 a.m. So that's 3 hours. Boom. So everybody in the hotel's walking down the stairs. And we get downstairs and they're like, oh, sorry, false alarm. Some people were livid, and I'm just like, whatever, bro. Like, I'm glad my fight or flight system woke me up. Boom, go back to sleep. Went off again.
Yeah,
so
you see. That's the thing, is you're seeing the blessing,
right,
and you're seeing the opportunity, right?
But that's the thing. Came to set the next day without any sleep. Didn't talk about it.
Right.
I didn't breathe any life into. Woe is me. I didn't sleep. I'm a victim. Feel sorry for me. I didn't talk about it. I didn't breathe any life into it. So in your life, what you breathe life into, what you give your power to, because all you do is give power away. You're like a flower girl at a wedding. She starts out with a certain amount of flowers and she passes them out. She throws them out. So that's your power. How much power are you giving away into what? Because you don't know when you need that extra little bit of juice. We were talking about that. There was situations that I was giving my power and attention to that didn't serve me, and I was still doing that. And you remove those situations and the parts that your power is going to that you don't need to give it to, and more stuff comes in.
The blessings just arrive miraculously, you know? Yeah.
You get blessed and it multiplies. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. But MBM, www.nobeastmode.us is live right now. Functional. You can see the clothes on body. You can see, the sizing chart. You can see the different sizes, different colors, and everything that went into it, even down to the e-commerce. Like you know what I would say is a huge flaw for me? Being impatient. I am impatient, and I can admit to that.
It's the weakness and the strength at the same time, right? Because listen, let's talk about this, right? Back to the sooner you fail, the sooner you succeed thing. When you're impatient, you're calling on my team and you're like, Jan, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. And then we're failing. We're getting it right? And at the end of the day, we all know that we're going to die. And people are out not putting their best foot forward and not living. Like, guys, come on, man. Like,
because I think they're putting it off.
Yeah.
But I don't think we don't die. We don't die.
Yeah, well, I don't believe so. But the point is, like, let's talk about the human experience, right? So you got one life. And you're not going to go all out. There's no ways. There's absolutely no ways.
But see, I think that notion scares some people. And there's a lot of fucking feel good shit, right? Like sometimes you go to church and it's a bunch of feel good shit versus like some real shit. And like anywhere you can go in a building. I don't need a building to praise the Most High. You can praise the Most High. The Most High is within for me. So it's like if I'm going to a place that is not making me better, why am I there? So I think a lot of different places skip over that aspect of it. Like, hey, listen, I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to be honest with you. So this physical existence is going to cease at one point. So you're better off doing exactly what you want to do and being fulfilled and not taking shit from that person, not taking shit from your job, not taking shit from yourself.
So you see, like I'm, talk about my own experience. I'm a devout Orthodox Christian, right? And the truth is many modern iterations speak about, hey, do what's comfortable for you, right? So you're bending the rules to be comfortable for you. When the truth is, let's talk about like praising God. That should be in your actions, right? First and foremost.
It's a dynamic thing, huh?
And the point is, like, there's so much respect there that you're probably going to gain blessings, man, because you're sacrificing, You're learning about yourself. So I learned a lot of that from you too, bro.
Or just imagine if you emulated what you thought the divine would be. Because when I think of the divine, it's something that's omnipresent. It's everywhere at the same time. So this is MBM. It's everywhere. It's being a beast in everything at the same time. And people don't integrate this into their lives. And that's why my mom, super Christian woman, doesn't even swear. And like there's a couple episodes of my shows that she can't watch, And it's like, she got upset when she's like, hey, you can't call MBM a religion. And it's like, bro, in some aspects, some religions, like I took a world religion class in college, and when they broke it down, it was kind of like the same story on each of them. And I'm like, well, how can any monotheistic religion have a war? If you guys all believe in one God so firmly, like, well, why isn't their God your God and your God their God and their God your God? Because of comfortability. Well, I'm not comfortable with your God being my God because my way's right. And I believe, bro, I think there's a way to integrate all that into everything. And
look, trust is massive. Finding the right partner in your business, in your life, all comes down to trust. In this collaboration or us doing work with you, it was trust, man. Like,
it was trust.
There was no second guessing. With majority of our clients, it's always approvals and back and forth. And Jeff's like, brother. Like, do your thing.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I
was because it wasn't any question. Because I remember it was a time for Become Nutrition when I was trapping out of my basement, literally like labeling my own product, and the product was coming separate from the labels, and I'm like smacking labels on stuff at like 3 a.m. and sending everything out. This is about 2015, 2014, and this is when Become Nutrition was birthed. Like, people think it's something new that came out in 2018. No, I've been grinding on this for years. Exactly. You don't see the behind the scenes work, the groundwork that I put in, so the business can stand on a firm foundation now, and you can throw anything on top of it and it just stands strong. So I remember sending about it's funny saying it now, about like, I don't know, 15 G's. 15 G's can't get you either the watches that we got on right now, and that's just facts. Like, take it or leave it. But I sent 15 G's to this guy, and I said, hey, like, I'm on MTV True Life, so I think my sales are going to go up, so I want to make a bigger order, because I was just making smaller orders, and I sent it to him. And I never got product. And that was my last money. I let my account go negative for that. And I didn't have any money. I didn't have any money and no product. So like, it was funny because I had a little bit of PTSD when it was time for the pre-production samples. So again, me not understanding the process, I'm like, wait a second. So I got to buy clothes that are not coming out and that are just going to be for me, so we can see if we want to approve these. And it costs around the same money, about like 10 G's. Like, wait a second. But this is quality. This is what you're doing. Like, the pre-production samples don't even have a tag in it. Like, they're not sold. Those were just for me to approve. And you spending so much money on something that to approve it shows you what's going into that and shows you how serious it was. And I sent you that money with ease. It wasn't even a question, because
it's same
the business
day.
matured. You know what I
Same
mean?
day, yeah.
So it's like trusting the right people.
Right.
But when we're talking about it, there was 3 presentations? 3 presentations from his brand to my brand about the reincarnation of my brand. So of course the trust is there, because it's not about who does things first. Because technically I did MBM first alone, crash and burn. Then I did it again, crash and burn, crash and burn, crash and burn, crash and burn. So I know exactly what doesn't work when we go on to an inventor.
Right.
How many inventions do they make before he's like, that don't work?
Yeah.
So we know exactly what doesn't work. And then again, when you bring a professional in, because when you got like a CEO of a company, not even a CEO, think about sports, right? There might be rare cases where, the owner of a football club, a basketball club, American football club, a soccer or anything like that, where they have played, but normally they're not the best players on the team.
Management.
What's your soccer team?
Liverpool. Yeah.
Liverpool. Okay.
Yeah.
Does the owner of Liverpool, shout out to him, whoever?
No, he's American. He also owns the Red Sox.
No. But can he play right now?
He cannot play.
No,
Zero.
right now.
No.
See what I'm saying? So what happens? They get the professionals to do the professional work.
Precisely, yeah.
To execute. Because, if you look at that, it is, a pastime and, something where people have pride. But it also is a business.
Yeah, and it's back to the mindset. I don't want to just label it abundance mindset, but it's more like the investment mindset. Like, every time you see a bill, there's 2 ways to look at it. Right. My late uncle, amazing man, he always told me that it's not what you pay for it, it's what you can sell it for that's the true value. You have to unlock the value, or your company or your team has to unlock the value. So most times people look at bills and complain. The truth is, you're not seeing the value. It's like when we hire people, we say, is this person an income generator? In other words, if I have to hire someone, pay them 10 grand a month, but they income generate 30 grand a month, it's a masterclass.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the mindset that you hope that the clientele of NBM, get to feel.
Right.
And, as someone who's worked with you on your brand, that's something I hope that we gave you,
But it's just to be able to take the mindset, the religion, the act, to a garment is huge.
Yeah, precisely.
Or for someone to take, hey, I'm going to take the concept of beauty, the concept of fat burning, and put it and encapsulate it.
Right.
So you can ingest it because it helped me and I'm going to help you now.
Right.
It's huge.
Right.
And just like this, these products are staples.
Yeah,
They're staples.
and the point is, like, so using that same analogy, when one wears this apparel, they feel and look at least 50% better. I typically wear an XL. I'm wearing a medium today. I have been working on it, but a medium today, and it's extremely flattering.
Right.
So the point is, I should probably be wearing a large, but the point is like, it's doing things for me, man.
Right.
And I think that's a very important.
And bro, I
message.
went on Rodeo the other day.
Yeah.
Went on Rodeo the other day. We got to get out of here soon. We got the podcast studio's up. Went on Rodeo the other day, and I'm walking around, and I had a couple people stop me. Hey, what's that MBM thing? I was like, really? Bro, I wasn't going there to be seen. I went after hours because last time I was on Rodeo, TMZ stopped me, and it was a whole big thing. So I was like, I'm going to go when things are closing down. So there's no one there, and it's dark, and it's whatever. So I walked around and grabbed me a coffee, and people were asking me about it. And then, I wore the dust tee, green cargos, and some Louis loafers. Some shades, called it a day. Real clean, cool, calm, and collective. And people were asking me, one, I was extremely comfortable. 2, I'm wearing my own shit. 3, I know the heaviness of the mindset behind this. 4, I was going to make some comparisons.
Right.
I want to go walk down the best of the best.
Right.
Granted, there's Milan fashion, there is Paris and everything else like that. But I was like, for LA, Rodeo.
Oh, this is the spot.
Yeah, this is the spot. So I walked around, bro. I'm like touching threads because now he taught me about thread counts, and I'm like touching threads. I'm like, what the fabric's made out of. And a lot of times you're not necessarily buying that brand's thread. You're buying what that brand stands for.
Precisely.
And even going to the Louis dinner when they had the fashion show in Miami, they took care of the customer. And I was like, wait, so no one's getting paid to be here? Like these are all just like high spending, Louis customers? Like it was really cool to see. And it's like, I want to provide that same customer experience. And I was calling people like, when I had some time, people that made pre-sales. Hey, this is Jeff Logan. Want to make sure that was a pre-sale that you bought. And they couldn't believe they were talking to me. Like, man, you really call people? Yeah. Like the order came to my phone. Like we saw you.
And that's
I know
the
where you
difference. But wait, that's the difference.
Details.
That is the difference. So like
Details.
At our company, it doesn't matter if we have the biggest account or the smallest account. The truth is you will feel that. That's the difference. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't just have one approach to everyone. You got to leave your personal stamp. You got to let people feel.
But that's the thing, bro. We switch time zones. You travel all the time. I travel
all
all
the time. Yeah.
And we're still boom, 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 boom.
The meeting is dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a rolling meeting.
Yeah.
But listen, no beast mode. Just be a beast in everything that you do in every aspect of life. Enter that animalistic state. Enter that whatever it takes state to get done what you need to accomplish. And this is in every aspect of your life. You can't have one without the other. You shouldn't be able to sleep if there is a lagging area of your life, And if it's up to me and you follow me, you support me, I will make sure I infect you in a positive way to implement this mindset in your life. And I want your life to be that much better. That is the whole idea of it. It's just translated over into extremely luxurious, high quality garments that finally represent your boy and that represent the mindset to the fullest in a physical manifestation of it, an apparel line. And I've worked with all your brands. I've worked with mostly every fitness brand, a lot of fashion brands. I've traveled overseas and did it. I've been to men's fashion weeks. I've seen things up close, and I get people's pre-production samples.
Yeah, you get them firsthand.
Yeah, I get them firsthand, and I've seen all this over the years, and I've always had my own brand. I just never really pulled the trigger at a worthy target. And now, again, seeing how these brands have teams and me being impatient and oftentimes impatient.
But the team is there because of the impatience, but it's back to the same point.
Right.
Quicker you do it, quicker you win, quicker
you fail.
Yeah.
Fail fast.
Yeah.
Fail faster.
Yeah.
And
fail forward.
Fail forward.
Fail
for sure.
forward, yeah.
And never stop. And it's never really truly a failure because
Shout
you
out
learn.
Yanni. Yeah.
and you understand that it's not a failure because you when you get this, you know that there's experience. Like I'm thankful for and see, I can't even label negative things in my life. I'm thankful for every part of my life because my life is not happening to me, it's happening for me.
Right.
So all that stuff had to happen in order to get to this moment.
That's the power. But that's
here.
your power, right?
Right.
Your power is you've made the decision, you've accepted the responsibility, and your life happens for you. Right? It doesn't happen to you.
Nice.
I think that's just your message, and I think you brought it out.
But I mean,
it's there.
Even the first presentation, when you had my face on a billboard, I wasn't even thinking billboard. I was just like all over the place, going through whatever I'm going through, whatever. And you're like, all right, billboard, font, North Star. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. And I think we had like a 2-hour Zoom call that day.
Yeah.
And it's like, look what manifested.
Precisely. No, it's insane.
North Star, billboard. Like, come on, bro.
It's
like,
live.
It's live,
it's
man.
done deal.
No beast mode, just be a beast in everything you do. My man YC, Yianni Crease in the house.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate this very
Crease
much.
Group.
Thank
Bro,
you.
I appreciate you coming through. I know you're going to Greece soon. Have a safe flight. And Becoming a Beast podcast has been brought to you by Logan Performance, Become Nutrition, of course, No Beast Mode, www.nobeastmode.us. Use code BTB20 for any of my brands beside Logan Performance, and you get a 20% discount. Shout out to y'all. Much love.
Nice one, G.